You take the blue pill, saying that this is an amazing anime, and you can have hundreds of likes, boosting you into the algorithm. Take the red pill and call it bad, getting thousands of dislikes, another video that flops. Realistically, only an idiot would take this. I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. I just finished the case files of Lord El Malloy II, Rael Zeppelin, which made me believe that I need a PhD in fate to understand it.
I
don't understand.
Sounds like a skill issue. Maybe read the light novel. You just wait till I re-Photoshop you one day. This will do for now. As always, it's up to me to change the name of this anime to something a bit more realistic. El Malloy Holmes II, the case files of a wimpy kid, and finally Fate, unlimited debt works. If you were as happy to see the King of Conquerors back on the big screen like I was, be sure to subscribe to my channel and join my Discord. Let me give you a satire synopsis of this anime. This takes place 10 years after the events of Fate Zero, so spoilers for that show. It starts by reminding you just how awesome the King of Conquerors was, and why Waver makes sure each month he renews his tier 3 subscription to him. Years later, Waver was captured by Reynes while trying to get the case files of Kenneth. If you're like me, you already forgot about this guy after he got hit by that Karutsugu classic. In this anime, he's now portrayed as the great respectable guy who may or may not have been killed because Waver finessed his starter Pokemon. His niece Reynes has two problems. First, her family has a crushing debt, larger than my student loans. Second, she needs somebody to hold her place as a lord until she's old enough. This is a title that only 12 individuals hold in the clock tower. So who better to hold that title than Sherlock Holmes himself? He has no choice but to accept after being brutally tortured. From that moment on, Waver Velvet became her... Alright, we've peaked. Let's end this review. Great anime, 10 Wavers out of 10. This still is a mystery anime, so we have Mystery Incorporated going around solving mysteries with a twist. You don't get to understand anything. According to the laws of Pluto, which is still a planet, when using the astromancy and following the geocentric model means that there is a secret panel right here. That was not an elementary deduction. After unmasking the villain, they proceed to say,
and I would have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for you meddling kids.
Since Waver doesn't do any of the fighting, he always sends in his emotional support lolly, Gray, to do the dirty work. This continues until we get to the Rael Zeppelin, which is a train that sells mystic eyes, which are a hotter commodity than Kurapika's scarlet eyes. Waver was invited after getting his safety blanket stolen from him, which he treasures more than Rudis treasures Roxy's panties. After going to platform 9 3/4, they run into Olga, my favorite character who was abandoned by their father, as well as the other side characters. There is no way that wasn't racially motivated. Wait, never mind, he's just a priest. Oh no, there's been a murder on the train. How shocking. What do you gather from this Waver? It was Gilgamesh with the broken noble phantasm on the bridge. Okay, he's having a bit of a PTSD attack. Let's let him sleep for half the arc. After a few episodes, they reveal who the villain was all along. I'm blurring it out, but it wouldn't matter if I didn't. They did the dumbest reveal of all time. However, it isn't a fate if it doesn't have an ending fight, which they literally win with the power of hentai. This was still my favorite part of the anime though. In the end, at least we got Iskandar saying, Now, let's talk about the characters in this anime, starting off with the only person who can draw a perfect circle, Lord El Malloy II. You know that kid that peaked in high school, always talking about the glory days and is obsessed with his first love? Yeah, that's Waver. He's now a teacher at the clock tower, taking over for Kenneth. He utilizes the teaching methods that were used back in the 1970s. He's become the pinnacle of teachers at this school, even being known as the #1 man female students would like to sleep with. Interesting name. Going into this series, my favorite characters from Fate Zero were Waver and the King of Conquerors. I have to say, this anime further cemented that point. While he is a much more serious character, I am glad that they left most of his persona the same. Throughout the last 10 years, he's been trying to get into the next Holy Grail War, so that he can resummon his father to ask if he's finally proud of him. Wait, didn't he know this guy for less than a month? Yet he devoted this much time to him? Maybe he should just
let the past die.
So you see, tier, Gray, the Gravekeeper who is shrouded in mystery, and will continue to be unless you read the light novel because they don't tell you anything about this character. All we know is that Waver saved her, and now she follows him around like a puppy with a degradation kink.
Tell me you hate my face.
I hate your face.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
At least we get the constant mystery of who she is. Isn't that just... I agree, that's just Gray. I'm also 90% certain that she just has Kite's weapon. At least she put her own original mixtape in this anime though.
That's called motherfucking bars!
SoundCloud's finest tier, everyone's favorite sugar daddy, Melvin. He's Waver's friend who originally lent him money to go to Japan during the Holy Grail War. From that moment forward, every time Waver sees Melvin, he asks,
"Spare change, ma'am?"
because if this anime taught me one thing, it's that the true power of friendship is taking money from them. I just hope that Waver's in this man's will, because he seems to be dying every 5 seconds. He also has the power of music, which gives him a similar power to Soma's cooking. Avid gambler tier. Olga, who is the complete opposite of Gray, because she has a huge praise fetish. There is one solid truth about her. No matter what universe Olga is in, she just can't catch a break. Her whole character arc is, as she said, "It's okay for me to be angry." Congratulations on grasping the concept of emotion and starting a forest fire. Cursed tier. Luvia and Kairi, who are characters who appear to just be thrown into the plot because of their popularity. I mean, it was anime only when they helped out discovering who the main villain was, which is a shame because I really like these characters. It just kind of felt forced having them do some random side quest that really didn't need to happen. Anime only tier. And that's all the characters. Time for final thoughts and rating the anime. I'm just gonna say it. This anime wasn't that great. The characters were without a doubt the best part of this anime, all being amazing, interesting characters that left you wondering more about them. I am especially interested in Gray, since the anime just left you a trail of breadcrumbs to follow about her. Waver had a great arc too, as you get to see how much he's changed since the Holy Grail War, and how much he hasn't put behind him. The plot, on the other hand, was pretty bad. I get that most people are gonna say, but it's all about the world building. And I agree, it did help to extend the Fate universe. However, it doesn't change the fact that they did a poor job at explaining certain things. I mean, they could just be saying random things, and I have to agree because it's a magical world. Not to mention, as a mystery anime, it's just not that good. Specifically the final villain, who was built up for 6 episodes. Think of a traditional mystery show. You're going along with the main character, discovering different things that are important to each case. This leads the viewer to discover who the villain is alongside the main character. This anime just doesn't do that. It leaves Waver having secret information that's only revealed when they unmask the villain. Instead of doing the Scooby-Doo formula, what they were going for was, this is a magical world, so you can't expect it to be just a regular guy you meet along the way. This was a good idea, but the execution was poor. Not to mention that the first 6 episodes are anime only, and they start from the 4th light novel volume. I was just sitting through the first 6 episodes thinking,
How long is this going to take?
but at least it did show the tension between the Clock Tower members. The art and animation were great, but not just for the fights, but the lighting and facial expressions. Even when they had an actual PowerPoint presentation, the art was still pretty good. The soundtracks were decent, but nothing to write home about. While my anime list gave this anime a score of around 7.4 out of 10, I will be giving a score of 7.1 Sherlock Holmes out of 10. In conclusion, this anime has all the components to be great, but the plot was...
Shit! いいよ、失礼。
Hello, Outro Lunar here. Click here if you want to see my channel. Click over here if you want to see my most recent video. Click over here if you want to see the recommended video. Alright, bye.